Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, guys, we're going to be seeing a video today. This is titled My First Time in Warsaw, Poland's Surprising Capital City. All right, guys, let's see what Warsaw looks like in Poland. All right, so without further ado, please subscribe, and if you find this video interesting, like, share, and comment. So let's jump in.
Warsaw has multiple personalities. She's a little bit of everything in a way that, to be quite honest, is unlike anywhere else in Poland. To put it plainly, she's not like other girls. And because of that, some people will find her off-putting. Others will find her exciting. Some might find her intimidating. And while I might know all of this now, I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I first got off the train at Warsaw Central Station. My name is Josh, and I am a digital nomad who lives in a different country every single month. Join me as I get to know the multiple personalities of Warsaw, the complicated capital city of Poland. Warsaw was the second stop on my north to south Poland road trip. I flew into Gdańsk from my base in Riga, Latvia, and spent a couple days there before taking a train southeast to visit Warsaw for the very first time. I arrived at the station and stepped outside, and immediately I knew that this place was different from the rest of Poland. Up until this point, I had seen Wrocław and I had seen Gdańsk, and in many ways those two cities are similar. Classic and beautiful small European cities with a proper old town, a river, and lots of charming buildings with a ton of character. Warsaw's downtown area is nothing like that. It feels like a mega urban hub, which makes a ton of sense because that's what it is. Warsaw is the cosmopolitan capital city of Poland. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where business takes place and people go to get it done. However, even though Warsaw may be a badass business bitch, focusing solely on her business side would be a mistake. Because like I mentioned earlier, Warsaw is a city with many sides. And like all your favorite cities, it has a lot to see under the surface if you're willing to dig deeper.
This video is actually quite interesting to see. All right, Warsaw is actually the capital of Poland. All right, so it has several business centers, super modern offices. They are building like they have really massive structures there. All right, so it's really beautiful.
Now, anyone who works in an office knows that you have to let loose sometimes, and Warsaw knows how to let loose. I actually was probably most surprised by the creative ways to have fun that I found on my visit to Warsaw. What I'm trying to say is that Warsaw is a silly little goose, okay? And I love that about her. I really do. Examples of this are endless, but I have to say that the secret gamer nerd in me came out when I learned that there is a pinball machine museum / bar in Warsaw. Okay, I immediately had to go. It's called Pinball Station, and this place is so cool. You just pay a single entrance fee, and you have the opportunity to play unlimited rounds of pinball to your heart's content all day long. And as you might imagine, from a place that calls itself a museum, they have pinball machines spanning from many different eras. You can go super old school if you want the nostalgic experience. And then of course there's, the golden era of the arcade, which was in the 80s. And so many of these pinball machines are from that period in time. This is so silly. Warsaw is so silly. I mean, I loved it. I was totally surprised to find it. But this wasn't the only new experience that I had in Warsaw. You might see the business side and the silly side of Warsaw and think, where's the artistry, the creativity? Fear not, it is there. I could provide a million examples of this. I mean, the obvious choices are the amazing art museums or seeing a musical performance tribute to a composer like Chopin. But no, okay, that would be too easy. Today, I think I would like to talk about Wedel and the genius and beautiful ways that they are innovating with chocolate. This company has been around since 1851, okay? That is a very long time. They've been finding the best ways to make chocolate for over 150 years, and you can tell. What I like the most about this is that they don't just make chocolate. They have a whole cafe right in the heart of Warsaw's Old Town, where you can try their chocolate in original and creative ways. I ordered a sampler platter of their 4 hot chocolates, and this was actually one of the highlights of my entire Poland trip. This is 4 kinds of proper decadent chocolate, okay? Super dark, also known here as bitter, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate. It just spins
Nice.
around and around all day, keeping it fresh and churned and ready. If you're a chocolate fan, you're gonna go crazy for this. I especially love white chocolate, and so that was my favorite personally, but they were all really good. This place is a fan favorite for a reason. So good. Poland loves tradition, and it's one of the greatest ways that they incorporate their history into the present day. In Warsaw, you see it in everything. It's memorialized in places like the Warsaw Uprising Museum or the National Museum. But the place where it's most accessible as a tourist experiencing the city for the first time is undoubtedly with its food. Now, I had some time to kill in the Old Town Square before the start of a walking tour through Warsaw, and so I had a classic decision to make: where to eat and what. If you watched my Gdańsk or Wrocław videos, then you know that I had some incredible pierogi during my 2 visits to Poland. And while I admit I did eat some street pierogi as a snack at one point in Warsaw, this time I wanted to try something different. I wanted a proper, old-school slab of Polish meat. I chose Basiliszyk Restaurostka based on nothing more than the fact that it had the most people eating there. I also liked that their logo was a basilisk. I'm definitely a sucker for some branding. I grabbed some ribs and some bread, and I basically just went to town. I also felt very at home during this meal because the pigeons from the square were all over me trying to steal my food. It was like I was in New York City all over again, just sharing a meal on a beautiful day with some pigeons. I mean, the staff here were super nice and accommodating. They had a whole squirt bottle to try to shoo away the pigeons, but it didn't really work. They kept coming back, but that was fine. I mean, it was nice to have some company. It had been a long time since I just ate like a well-prepared plate full of ribs, and so this was perfect. It was especially nice just being in the beautiful heart of Warsaw's Old Town, a place which is undoubtedly the center of its tradition and heart. Just like people, big cities are complicated. I feel like oftentimes cities that are most known for their business are overlooked by tourists in favor of places that are maybe more picturesque. But every single time I visit a city like Warsaw, without fail, I walk away impressed and surprised by how much I enjoyed my time there. We humans love labeling. It makes it easy for our brains to quickly identify people and places. Warsaw is a place that, even now, I kind of struggle to label. In just a couple days there, I really felt like I saw so many different cities all in one. It's a business center. It's a creative hub. It's focused on tradition. And at the same time, it's silly and smart. And so, while it might not be easy to pin down a place like Warsaw, the benefit of having all these characteristics is that one thing is for sure. No matter who you are, no matter what you're into, you can find something for you in Warsaw. And personally, I think that is worth celebrating.
Okay. This is actually my first time seeing what Warsaw actually looks like, all right, from this video. Okay, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. All right. I had an amazing time checking out this video. Okay, so if you're in Warsaw, if you're new to Warsaw, if you're planning on traveling to Poland, this video is also going to be like a guide for you, all right, in case you don't know where to start from. All right, so this is really an interesting video. Share your thoughts and your opinion. If you're in Poland, let us know about Warsaw and what other places do you think would be interesting. All right, thank you for watching and see you guys on my next one. Bye.